What? When I saw this tweet last night, it had a couple thousand likes, and I went, yeah, that seems about right. People dig it. But now, tens of thousands of likes, thousands of retweets, tons of quote tweets. We can just watch this number go up as I go throughout the video because the Pokemon community is absolutely rabid right now. So let's see what is going on. This is what I wished Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl would look like. I will post the trailer tomorrow. So this dude made a mock-up of what he wants the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes to look like, and it looks alright. Like, people are just going crazy. Everyone's like, this is what the Pokemon game should have looked like. But honestly, for me, this hurts my eyes. It's like playing against Game & Watch in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Whenever my friends troll pick this, it hurt my retinas. Like, this, it's okay. I get why people would like it, but I don't understand how there's this much hype around it and how aggressive people are being if you say that this isn't the greatest thing ever and that this is what every Pokemon game should look like. And the more I get into it, again, like, I think the Pokemon community has lost sense of what a game is, and also they forget the golden rule. Graphics are always second to gameplay. You don't need this to make a good Pokemon game. Heck, you don't even need this to make the best Pokemon game, and my problem with it is that it's so overly stylized. Way too much bloom, way too much blur. It kind of looks like a mess, and that's what I can see from some of these. Like, what's that? Like, okay, we're going to Snow Point City, but you can't see anything that's going on over here, and once again, it hurts my eyes. The Pokemon community has become so detached from reality, they refuse to understand how game design works, and they also don't care about function at all anymore. It's all about just the prettiest thing possible, whether or not it's actually realistic to translate into a game. Yeah, it's one thing to make a render, it's a completely different thing to make an entirely playable game, especially at the scale of Pokemon. And it is possible to make something that looks so good that it just becomes lifeless and dull. This doesn't get me as excited for a Diamond and Pearl remake as what we saw in the trailer, regardless of the graphics. And then when we get into the comments, you can really see how awful the Pokemon community has become, because this guy's just spitting facts. I mean, this here looks like a PS2 game pumped full of bloom lighting if you really look at it, and then tries, like, the thing is, social media isn't real anymore. The reactions that you see there, what people expect out of it, it's not even organic. It's just a complete cesspool, because it's all about ratioing people. There's actually people out there that think having more likes changes reality. It means you are more right than the other person, and usually the more toxic you are, the more you fall in line, the more likes you get, and then everything just becomes an incoherent mess. So, I mean, yeah, look up, okay, if you haven't done so, look up Minecraft Shaders Mod. Makes Minecraft look gorgeous, but it's still Minecraft. So it just kind of shows that any developer could do that to any game to make it look how people want it to look, but it goes against the design that the game developers are going for, also the realisticness of it. If you run Minecraft with maxed out shaders, you are going to need a top-of-the-line PC to make it happen. The Nintendo Switch will not and cannot run any game, not just a Pokemon game, this isn't lazy devs, will not run any game to a functioning level that looks like this. I mean, we can see that with the Pokemon Legends Arceus trailer. The game's coming out in a year, and it's horribly unoptimized at this point. Like, the Pokemon, they just gotta, like, glitch out and spaz out because they don't work in this world that well, and that's pretty much where the rest of the development time is going to go. Not extra features, not really making the game as good as it can be, but just fixing all the graphical problems. And even then, you can see that there's not a lot of life. There's not as much going on here. There's a couple of trees, there's not really any bloom or extra shading going on because the Nintendo Switch can't run it. And somehow, Pokemon Legends looks worse and runs worse than a game that came out 4 years ago with Breath of the Wild. And you can also compare it to other ones like Genshin Impact, Monster Hunter, and whatever. So, yeah, this is where things get crazy. But now the excuses come in, as always, when it comes to Pokemon. This is, like, Twitter is where rational thought goes to die. Made by a single person, and not the most successful video game franchise in the world, but okay. Oh yeah, that changes everything. Since it was made by one person, it no longer looks like a PS2 game with tons of bloom lighting. Forgive me for my mistake here. And I mean, like, that's the thing. The rational take just gets dunked on because the Pokemon community is toxic and full of idiots right now. That's quite impressive, but they wanted something that looked nostalgic. That doesn't look nostalgic at all. It feels like a completely different game altogether. And that's another thing. you can only stray so far until it just stops feeling like Pokemon. Like I said, this picture right here didn't hit me with that nostalgia, didn't get me excited for my brand new Pokemon adventure that just feels like some kind of generic JRPG with good graphics, and that's where Pokemon loses its charm when it tries to go for something like that. And then once again, idiots coming in hot. Nostalgic here is code for it looks ugly on purpose. Older Pokemon games had a chibi style because of screen density. When they had screen space, they showed you what they really imagined. You mean like when they have the space, they show you what they imagine? Like this is proof right here that they are going for nostalgia over anything else with Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. They made the battle scene the exact same, except in 3D, which shows that that is the intentional design of this game. They want it to feel like you're playing Pokemon Diamond and Pearl all over again. And this person, like, how can you post that image and then ignore what is being shown in the trailer? Now that we have the power, for some reason, we're making things ugly on purpose, and that also just comes down to something subjective. You know, the chibi style is not ugly. It actually looks pretty good. It's capturing the original look of Diamond and Pearl really well because that's the intentional game design, and now that we have the power, we can render out the battles to look like that. And the battles look pretty hype for Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. And even though I like the look of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, it only looks this way because of Pokemon Legends. Because Game Freak or the Pokemon Company, they're not going to put out the exact same game. They're not going to put out a game that looks like this in the past and a game that looks like this in the future with a modern, more standard main series game. So they decided to do something different, and that's why this is an incredibly deliberate style. And it's also what Pokemon fans wanted. Pokemon fans have been crying that Game Freak can't make a 3D Pokemon game, that we should go back to 2D, or that we should go back to simpler games. They make a simpler game that's very nostalgic looking, and then they get hated on anyways for it. Once again, it is impossible to please the toxic fan base of this community, and I think it kind of shows a deeper reason as to why Junichi Masuda is directing this game. Junichi Masuda is making the classic Pokemon games that he wants because the modern Pokemon fanbase is too detached from his idea of Pokemon. One of the original members of Game Freak is detached from the Pokemon community. That's how bad the Pokemon community has gotten. Also, not to mention the hypocrisy. You are free to hate on Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl as much as you want, but you are not allowed a single criticism of Pokemon Legends Arceus. And I also wanted to bring this up at some point in the video, and I just remembered it, so I'm going to try to fit it in. I'm not going to watch the trailer. If you don't like how this looks, don't watch the trailer. Don't support this, because it's just the same nonsense over and over again. Shilling to get attention from fraud Poketubers. This is only going to make everything worse. This is like what happens when a new ROM hack comes out, everyone rushes it because none of these people have an original idea in their head. All they know is just how to promote fake stuff and BS and just pander to the ever-growing idiocy of the Pokemon community. This is the nonsense that we are now stuck in. Because it's not just good enough that like, oh, this is cool and I made a trailer, go check it out. No. You need to go and swing the entire culture with non-stop nonsense. Let's keep on going in. Genuine question, why can literally every other studio make a game like this, but Pokemon can't? So once again, just hating on Game Freak. It's like, yep, anyone else can do this, even some random dude that just throwing in a ton of bloom and shaders and stuff, but Game Freak sucks, Pokemon Company sucks, and then this guy, Pokemon Legends Arceus, am I a joke to you? I mean, Pokemon Legends looks absolutely nothing like that. So yeah, Pokemon Legends Arceus visually looks actually horrible. You are lying to yourself if you think otherwise. Oh my god, I was actually not expecting these replies because now is the favor of Pokemon Legends actually starting to wear off? Like now that the hype of the initial announcement caught people off guard and they thought that they were getting exactly what they wanted, and now the more that Pokemon Legends sets in, people are realizing that it's actually kind of looking like a jank game. There's not enough time to finish it. Because then someone goes and releases something like this, it's like, oh wow, Pokemon Legends looks awful now. Because this is the realistic take here. It's 1 year away. Development at that stage is just finishing up the game. No way will they improve it enough. I said that, and I've gotten absurd amounts of hate for it. That over half the comments are them saying like, oh, it's still a year away. But even though if you compare Pokemon Breath of the Wild, which was like 2 years away from development, the Wild was more polished. And again, a month ago, people had absolutely no faith in Game Freak to develop any future Pokemon game. They just wanted Game Freak axed from the entire Pokemon company because they didn't think they could make anything good. Now we see Pokemon Legends Arceus, which only has a year until it's ready, and people are like, oh yeah, now we love Game Freak and they're going to make this look better than Breath of the Wild with less development time, even though it already doesn't really have much going for it. I hope for a delay, at least 2022 holidays or 2023 if need be. And once again, if Cyberpunk, if No Man's Sky, if Fallout 76 has taught us anything, is not going to happen, and is not going to be enough to make the games look the way that you want, and they still might be bad from it. Then this guy's talking about Monster Hunter Stories. It's a spinoff, not as important as the main series, and it already looks better than the Pokemon games. And I mean, that's another thing. Like, when I saw the reveal for Pokemon Legends Arceus, it was already lacking just compared to the other games that we've seen that kind of went for it. This is what happens when Game Freak is forced out of their comfort zone by toxic fans, and they're not delivering on the experience that they should have just been delivering on. It's why I have so much concern for Pokemon Legends, because every argument in favor of Pokemon Legends rides on the hope that it's going to get good in a year. So that's a thing. Or maybe some people just don't like it. So yeah, that's another thing. I never understand why people would pretend this doesn't look awesome. I mean, I don't like it. It hurts my eyes. And I'm also realistic in the way that a game would struggle to look like this, and it probably wouldn't be as great of an experience. Many Pokemon fans are becoming way too defensive these days, as you immediately get defensive of any criticism of this, and I'd likely say probably Pokemon Legends as well. You can just say that this looks good, but you're also happy with what Game Freak gives you, you know? Or maybe people just don't like it. The blasphemy, the impossibility that someone could dislike what someone else on Twitter likes. And this dude just can't handle it. I'm guessing there's also cases where people just don't really like the idea of modern graphics Pokemon. No, I like the idea of modern graphics Pokemon. I would have liked to see Pokemon Legends in the traditional Pokemon Diamond and Pearl Remake. Just have all of that effort funneled together and then not be as ambitious. Like, I feel like Pokemon Legends got too ambitious to where it's actually hurting every aspect of the game because Game Freak isn't going to be able to deliver as confidently on all of it. I would just like to see better looking wild area. You keep the story, you keep some of the routes to have that traditional feel. I feel like the routes could have been done better in Pokemon Sword and Shield, so that's why I would have liked to see a traditional Diamond and Pearl remake. Learn from Pokemon Sword and Shield to deliver us the best possible Pokemon experience. This is just splitting the experience between two games, and I think giving us a lesser product because of it. So I would like to see that, and then open up some of Sinnoh, or a good chunk of Sinnoh, to a really thoughtful, wild area, and then just kind of make it work. And then also, since you already have an idea of what Sinnoh is supposed to be in the modern era, you're not wasting development time on trying to revert everything and then focus more on the history and all of these other things to kind of like squeeze this idea of a primitive trainer into Pokemon Legends. Again, I feel like everyone could have gotten what they wanted if Game Freak didn't kind of go too off the rails with this. But I feel like it's just an automatic reaction to hate on these kind of posts because someone critiques the original, which was a huge thing with Pokemon Sword and Shield. Nah, I just look at that, and I'm like, I don't see that working for Pokemon as a game, and it hurts my eyes. So that's a thing, and yeah, then they got 2 more screenshots. I feel like this is a miss for the Underground as well. I was hoping that the Underground be more, like, opened up to where you could actually free roam around it a bit more, just kind of make use of that. I don't like this cave style. Like, going back to Pokemon X and Y, where it's like you have a really linear tunnel, and it's more like a maze, and it's kind of confusing. You don't, like, have this open area to explore inside the cave. I didn't like that. So having that in 3D with the Nintendo Switch, that wouldn't feel like fun gameplay for me. And while it would be more interesting for like traps and finding secret bases and exploring with your friends and stuff in the underground, I think that takes away from the experience. A little too claustrophobic for me. And then also just looking at some of these things, that looks very static. That's pretty rough, buddy. And I get the idea of what's trying to be shown here, but that could not work for a game. And I don't get it. And once again, the shilling just never ends. So this is some nonsense. I was thinking about like waiting for the trailer to do this video, but I'm not on the list, so I'd probably get a fake copyright strike, which would be in bad faith, which would invalidate the copyright strike, but I don't want to deal with that. And like I said, if you disagree with what's going on here, either the reaction that people are having or just the idea of trying to outdo Game Freak at every corner like this, don't support it. don't support the content, don't watch it, don't engage with it. Just move on and let Game Freak do their thing and be happy with that. I mean, we got new Pokemon Snap. New Pokemon Snap looks gorgeous. Doesn't need all this blooming stuff? No, it doesn't. So, hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.